Chapter 41. Was it you? A million thoughts started to race through Quinn's mind. Had they found out about his ability? Were they going to force him to give it up and hand it over? Or had Loop informed them that he had killed Brandon and they were now going to punish him for it? Although Quinn was trying his best to calm down, it was nearly impossible. As he sat in the seat, he could feel his heart beating as if it was trying to escape from his chest. "Boy, calm down," Leo said. "I think even the others can hear your heartbeat. Now before we begin, I would like to inform you of a few things," the sergeant said. "A student by the name of Brandon Richardson has passed away recently. Now your teacher here has informed me that he and another student named Fei Lan had attacked you during combat classes yesterday. Now not only has one of the students passed away, but Fei was also admitted to the hospital late last night. So it was something to do with Brandon's death after all. We currently have no leads to what happened to Brandon, so that eventually led us to you. Although it's hard to believe someone with no ability like you could do something like this, there is always a way. The woman sitting opposite you here has the ability to detect whether someone is telling the truth or not. Now please proceed with her demands." "It's okay," the lady said. "I just need you to place your hand over mine." As Quinn placed his hand over hers, he suddenly felt a calming feeling enter his body. An ability has been detected. Unable to block the user's ability. "Now tell me, did you kill Brandon Richardson last night?" she asked. The calming feeling allowed Quinn to answer naturally. He felt like he was suddenly floating on top of clouds. "No, I did not." The woman carried on holding Quinn's hand and eventually let go. "He's telling the truth. As I said, I couldn't believe he would do something like this," Leo said. "I mean, how would it even be possible? He's only a level 1. It looks like we no longer have any leads. It's a shame, but an accident like this happens from time to time. It is expected," the sergeant said. "I'm sorry for wasting your time. Feel free to head back to class." With the questioning over, the two guards grabbed Leo and Quinn by the arm once again and a few moments later were teleported back to the weapons hall. "Boy, your heartbeat was starting to give me doubts that you were hiding something," said Leo, "but I'm glad you were not the culprit, otherwise I would have lost a promising student." With that said, Leo started to walk around the room and give advice out to the other students. That's when Layla had come over to where Quinn was. "What happened? Is everything okay?" "Yeah, it seems like it will be for now at least," Quinn replied. Quinn explained to Layla what had happened at the integration. At first, she was even shocked to hear that Brandon had died, but was happy to find out that Quinn was now completely cleared of suspicion. But as she thought about it more, she started to think who in their right mind would be crazy enough to kill a student, and for what reason. "Hey Quinn, you might not like what I'm about to say, but do you think maybe Vorden did it?" "What makes you say that? Did something happen between Vorden and Brandon?" "No, I mean, is it not strange that Vorden approached you in the first place? He's a level 5 user while you're just a level 1, and when he attacked me the other day he kept shouting about you. And trust me, the guy seems crazy enough to do something like that." "Really? But why? It's not like me and Vorden have known each other for long. Do you really think anyone would go to the extreme just for something like this?" "Yeah, even if I do think he's crazy, I don't think he's that crazy." With that, the two continued to practice their combat classes. Although Quinn was trying his best to learn the hammer strike move, he couldn't concentrate. He kept thinking about the words that Layla had said. Right now there were no suspects to Brandon's death, and Vorden had acted oddly a few times. And the last thing was the fact that Vorden wasn't in his room when Quinn arrived back last night. Just what was he doing so late? As the combat classes had ended, Layla and Quinn decided to hang out with each other for a while. There were a few tests both of them wanted to do with Quinn's ability. Quinn wanted to find a way to stop the sun from affecting him and learn about it more. while Layla wanted to see if there was any way she could be turned into a vampire. But as they walked out of the weapons hall and out onto the ground floor, them and several other first-year students had been stopped. The people stopping them were second-year students, and they had asked all the first-year students to gather at the assembly hall. "Just what is going on?" Layla said. "I have no idea," Quinn replied. Of course, the second-year students were powerful and the first-year students had no choice but to agree. Even the higher power levels had agreed to come, afraid something might happen. Around 100 of the first-year students had gathered in the assembly hall. Around them was not a single teacher but just several of the second-year students. Up on the stage, the curtains were drawn and in front of it stood Momo. "Welcome every single one of you," Momo said. "Today we have a special event, a special message to all you first years. You see, there has been someone going around trying to go against us, thinking he can break the precious system that has been around for years in this school. I am here to tell you that this is what happens to those who do not obey." Momo pulled down on a piece of string and the curtains on the stage started to be opened up. As the curtains moved away slowly, it started to reveal a student who had been tied up and placed on a large piece of wood. The student was bloody and had markings of being beaten everywhere. "Vorden," Quinn said.